The triple nature of the universal energy identified and realized by the Buddha at his enlightenment is called tilakkhana, meaning the triple nature of the nature. In fact, according to the Yadanicca Sutta, a discourse by the Buddha, that you get in the volume 3 of the Samyutta Nikaya at page 38, which says, Yadanittang tan dukkhang, yan dukkhang tadanicca, tadanatta, yan dukkhang tadanatta. Yadaniccan tan dukkhang, yan dukkhang tadanatta. It means whatever that is dynamic. Dynamic means energetic or creative. Is also in constant transformation. That means the universal energy is not a thing, but a universal transformation, a universal creativity. Not only creativity, universal sustainer and universal destroyer. Because everything that is created by the universal energy and every being that is born with the universal energy is subjected to birth, decay and death. It is the universal energy that creates everything and every being, sustains everything and every being, destroys everything and every being. That is the universal creativity or the universal nature called tilakkhana, identified by the Buddha at his enlightenment. He referred to these three aspects as anicchata, dukkhata and anattata. Anicchata means the universal dynamism of the universal energy. Dukkhata means the constant transformation of this universal energy. Energy is an activity. Active means getting transport every moment. If everything as well as every being get transformed constantly at every moment, nothing and no being can retain a permanent identity. And that is referred to as anattata Buddha. Anicchata that the Buddha realized is identified as universal dynamism of the universal energy. And what the Buddha called dukkhata is the transformation of that universal energy. And anattata means if everything and every being get constant transformation, nothing and no being can retain a permanent identity. Once this nature of the universal energy is realized by an enlightened one, the attachment to things and beings get eradicated, extinct. No attachment. That's called vitaragi. Raga means attachment, vitaragi means non-attachment. That is the nature of an enlightened one. Then dosi means no resentment of the universal energy. and its creativity. Resentment is called dosa, and non-resentment is called vita dosa by the Buddha. This happens due to the realization of the reality of the nature. The reality of the nature means, according to as I explained earlier, universal dynamism, universal transformation, and universal non-permanent identification of anything or any being. Once this is realized, one can get enlightened. But these religions founded by non-enlightened founders identify the universal energy as an almighty God, called an almighty creator, creating, sustaining, and destroying everything and every being. In Hinduism, the creative aspect of the universal energies identified as a universal God called Mahabrahma. The sustenance of things created by universal energy is identified as an almighty God called Vishnu, Mahavishnu. And the destruction of everything and every being is identified as a universal God called Maheshwara. But all these theistic ideas to destroy it, that everything and every being, everything as well as every being is impermanent. Therefore, impermanency is the basic nature of the universal energy, the basic nature of the universe, the basic nature of the nature. That is universal dynamism, that is in constant transformation, retaining no identity. As I mentioned earlier, universal dynamism is called anicca by the Buddha. Universal transformation manifested by the universal energy is called dukkha, and non-retainability of a permanent identity of anything and any being is called anatta by the Buddha. The basic nature is nothing but the impermanency of things and beings created by the universal energy. Enlightenment means realization of this nature of the nature. With that realization, one gets detached from everything that is impermanent. One gets non-resentive of everything and every being that is in constant transformation, that is active. That is the nature of the enlightened mind, which is free from attachment called raga, free from resentment called dosa, and the free from the ignorance of the reality called moha in Pali. Therefore, Buddha defined the Paramanibbana, or the ultimate truth, called Nirvana in Sanskrit, Nibbana in Pali, and Nirvana in Sinhala, as in the Nibbana Sutta, saying, Vitaragi, Vitadosi, Vitamohi mind is the enlightened mind. Therefore, enlightenment is defined by the Buddha in the Nibbana Sutta, saying, Raga koya, dosa koya, moha koya, idam buchyati Nibbana. Nibbana is the cessation or annihilation or the extinction of attachment, resentment, and the ignorance of the reality causing such attachment and resentment. And that state of mind can be realized in this very life. And such a one who has realized the entire truth is called an enlightened mind, a noble one called Arya Puggala. The capacity to be an enlightened one, the capacity to be a noble one is present in every being.